Hello, my beautiful tribe. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for all of your fantastic support, your love, your messages. Oh, it's so overwhelming. And of course, all of your orders. Buy my book and my meditations. I just am blown away. And I'm going to continue saying that every single video, whether you get bored of it or not. As you are here, and welcome to the subscribers, of course, to the Bedroom Guru. And I actually am in my bed today. I am the bedroom guru today in my bedroom. How many times am I going to say bedroom? And I'm going through my admin. I'm on an exhausted day. I'm not going to lie, in a lot of pain. And so I've decided to work from my bed. And people go, oh, lucky you. It's not lucky when you do it for 11 years. Trust me. But positivity, baby, that's what it's all about. Live in the desert or the oasis. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it, because that's what Juliana's told me. Anyhow, I'm answering a question from the lovely Nicole. Now, Nicole is gay, and she's asked about gay relationships and how it all works and why people have to go through perhaps the complications of coming out, if you like. And this also gives me an opportunity to discuss transgender people as well, and the fact that so many children now are wanting to change their sex. It's really quite explainable, but to some people it isn't. And I went up, as I always do, to Juliana's. It wasn't a really massive intention. I was going up to ask about soulmates, and it just came into the equation when I was up there with him at the Crystal Palace. And it goes a bit like this. If you haven't watched What Happens After We Die or anything to do with my visits to the Crystal Palace, watch those, because it might give you a bit more knowledge. Okay, you're gonna have to bear with me. I've got really bad brain fog today, and I find it really hard to find words. So went up, asked about soulmates, and then this is when he said, well, soulmates, they can be anybody. They just literally, it doesn't matter who you fall in love with, what sex they are, you just fall in love with them. So we went into it. And basically, before we come down, we have a life plan, okay? We decide how we're going to incarnate, what sort of body we're going to incarnate to, what experiences we're going to have, okay? Part of our soul cluster, we have a soulmate and a twin flame, which is part of our soul that comes down in two separate bodies, which is a twin flame, and then we have a soulmate, which is someone that pretty much plays a massive important role in each life as we come down. You're with them for eternity, and they can come in all different shapes and sizes, okay? Now that's, say we've got Peter and we've got Paul, right? And Peter says, I was a bloke before in my last incarnation, but I want to feel what it's like to be in a woman's body this time, right? So he's doing that. So then Paul goes, well, I want to do that as well. I want to know what it's like to be in a woman's body as well, because I was a bloke before and we were like brothers. And I you know, perhaps we should investigate this because we're soulmates. Let's see what happens. Okay, so they both want to come down in a female body. Okay, it doesn't matter about the meat suit. The soul is attracted to and loves who it's attracted to. Okay, so basically, they connect together in a gay relationship, whatever time during their timeline that they plan. Okay, this isn't a be-all, end-all for everybody. I'm just trying to give you examples, because obviously everybody's soul path is different. Now, so when you come down here also, you know, you get people that have perhaps been in a heterosexual relationship forever, and then suddenly they decide, oh my God, I'm in love with this woman. Okay, some people mistake their soulmate or a recognised soul as complete love, right? And so they end up being infatuated with them. They then realise there's two ways this goes. Then realise actually it's infatuation. I just absolutely love the bone. I've had this before in my life. I absolutely love the bones of that person, but I'm not sexually attracted to them. I don't actually want to have an intimate relationship with them or live with them or whatever. And so that's just a soulmate connection of the same sex. Does that make sense? I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible. You also then get, you know, we forget Peter and Paul. We've now got a lady who's been married, got kids, and then suddenly she meets a woman and she absolutely can't live without her. And she has found her soulmate, not happy in a relationship, and she goes and obviously has a gay relationship. Now, the thing is that people are saying, oh my God, she must have been a lesbian the whole time. Not necessarily. she didn't meet a soulmate until later on in life, and that soulmate just happened to want to be in a female body this time round. Okay, so really, when we're up there planning our next incarnation, because we are in this euphoric, eternal, celestial layer, we get a sick sense of humour. Mine is shite. How can I be sitting here? I could be touring the world, being the next big thing. No, I'm sitting in my bleeding bedroom, in my PJs doing your emails. So what happens is that I've completely lost. I told you, my brain fog is so pants today. So what happens is, when you're up in that, euphoric environment, you think, oh, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do this, because you really forget what it's like to be a human. You've been up there for 300 years at least, or 3 generations of family members, and you're like, oh, let's do that, let's do this, yeah, come on, let's have that relationship together. What they don't realise is when you get down here, you get encased in a human body, and what comes with that is ego. And so ego comes into it: fear, doubt, pain, worry, embarrassment, anger, jealousy, and all the other emotions that come being a human, right? Which we don't have when we're in the spirit world. We remember them, and our essence is intact. But this human crap that interferes with the pure soul essence of who we are is what creates all the problems. That's what buggers up our free will. This is what creates all the bad choices we make, which is explained in what happens when we die. So watch that series. It will make it all clear to you, okay? Now, what happens is you come down here, and then suddenly you realise that you're gay and you're 7, and you're like, oh my god, I really want to. And obviously you've got the social issues, the emotional issues, the coming out issues with your family, and it can be absolute bloody hell for people that are, even if they're in man-made religions, and it's obviously a sin to be homosexual, whatever. So basically, you don't take that into account when you're a wonderful eternal soul and everything's fluffy and sparkly. When you're down here, it's shit. So you chose that experience to go through that. And you might say to me, and so many people have, oh, so we choose our pain, do we? No, you don't choose it. At the end of the day, you choose human experiences to ascend your soul, okay? You get a craving for what it's like to go through human emotion, and the older your soul is, the harder choices that you create up there just so that you can experience them, because it's just one little lifetime in a line of hundreds, and you'll be back up there soon. That's how you see it when you're up there. When we're down here, it's a different story. People like me, okay, light workers, healers, mediums, empaths, sensitives, whatever you want to call us, we're still connected, and we know the game. We know the game. It doesn't stop us crying, grieving, getting angry, being shitty, or going through menopause, having ME because of this meat suit and all the human emotions that come with it. But my integral connection to the celestial realms, the crystal palace, the angel realm, spirit world, whatever you want to call it, allows me to think, calm it down, Nick. This is just one life in many. In many, okay? And we go through all sorts to meet our soulmates, and we endure, and we think, what are we putting ourselves through? And what we know, because we've connected with a soulmate or whatever it is. So this then brings me on to transgender people, okay? The people that obviously know they're in the wrong body. Now, these are the most beautiful spiritual people. They're part of what I call the millennial children, okay? And that is why it's become so much more not popular. It's so much. I know that obviously we're making it easier, hopefully socially, for some of these beautiful people. I personally have got a friend who transitioned, and he's just the most happiest I've ever seen him. And shout out to you, Will, if you watch this. So basically what happens is they are so spiritual, and they might not even know it, right? But they remember a previous life. So they've chosen, oh, I'm going to come down as a girl, right? So I'm going to come down as a female. But when they're down here, there's an intrinsic part of their soul that remembers them being in a previous life as a man or a boy. And there's something in them that says, I've made the wrong choice here. And they don't obviously think, oh, I've come down from the spirit world and I've made a life plan. Most people don't know this. That's why I'm trying to explain it to you, right? So they come down, and part of their soul goes, oh, I don't like this. I don't want boobies. I want to be back. I want to be back as the bloke I was in previous life. I'm not liking this. Hello, admin error. I don't want to be in the body. I've made a wrong decision here. Okay, so that's where we then go into transgenders. And even, you know, to a certain extent with the transvestite want to be feminine, you know, it perhaps is because they were a female in a previous life and they've just still got an essence of their soul that longs for that feminism, you see? And so this is how it works. So these children, and everybody's saying, oh, they're too young to know. They know, you know, they were probably wanting to wear dresses when they were like 5 years old, if they're a boy, or vice versa. And so we really need to acknowledge the fact that there's a bigger picture happening here, that we need to look at our soul and we need to look within rather than worry about what's on the outside. Who gives a shit what's on the outside? It's here, isn't it? You know, have you ever, for instance, been with the most wonderfully looking, wonderfully presentable person in every aspect? They're complete shit inside. Do you know what I mean? Just reminds me of the film Shallow Hal. It's just all about the essence within. And so all these wonderfully beautiful spiritual people that are now being brought into the planet to try and help. And this is where the ADHD, autistic children come in. Down syndrome children show nothing but love and purity. This is why there's so many of these children being affected with this. I know the scientific reasons for it, but there's also a spiritual reason for it. And that is we're trying to educate humankind to be kinder, to love more. Because I'm not seeing a lot of that. Are you out there? I'm not seeing a lot of that love out there in respect of when you turn the news on, it's just murder, mayhem and war. And so they've been brought down here. And this, again, is in that old book that I wrote. Oh, my God, that fiction book, Earthwalkers. So basically, they're coming down to educate people, to show that it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what disabilities you've got. I smile, I want to love, I want to hug you. You see that in disabled children. You even see that in terminally ill children, because they know they're only here for a little while because they've got to go back home, because they don't want to be down here. You know, and this is the same thing for transgenders. They basically think, oh, no, I can't be doing this. And so they then go through, perhaps they've even signed it in their life plan, I will change from a boy to a girl or girl to a boy. And they might have forgotten that bit, but what they don't forget is the fact that their soul was a boy before. So it's either written in their life plan or in their free will, they decide, I can't sit in this body. I thought I could cope. I can't do it. No, admin error. I want to go back to being a bloke. I just need this physical body changed. So it's not like ego, but their body structure is invading their soul, and it's giving them this torturous feeling of, I can't carry on in this body. And so they have to change. As soon as they change, that's it. I'm now running on a frequency I recognise from a previous life. That is what I've been told from my guides. That is what I've been told when I've gone up concerning homosexuality and obviously transgender and transvestite. All the people that just don't fit in their own bodies or their own space with the normal rubbish social views. You know, you're the most spiritual people out there, darlings. So you should be proud, beyond proud, because you have chosen, you're an old soul, and you've chosen a very difficult path to identify yourself either through sex of your body or connecting with your soulmate. Doesn't matter what sex they are. Doesn't matter. And there's so many times in my workshops where I speak to students who have like been, you know, as I say, heterosexual their whole life, and then suddenly they're in a gay relationship. I go, what happened there then? And I don't care. I ask. I love it. And I've got no clue. They said, I've never ever been attracted to women before, but I saw her and I knew that I had to be with her. And I think, get in, soulmate connection. Don't give a shit what the meat suit is. I'm in there. It's lovely. I love it. It's beauty. Beauty. It's beauty. And it's all about expression of the soul. The soul is saying, no, this is what I want. This is who I need to be with. This is what meat suit I want. And mote it be. Let it happen. Blessed be. So I hope that answers the question, Nicole. It's just a beautiful thing. And that's how I want people to see it. So I hope this reaches people that are going through these issues, this agony of wanting to be in a different body, this agony of wanting to come out, knowing that they want to be in a sex relationship. It doesn't matter. It's beautiful. Go with it. You're an old soul and you've chosen this. Enjoy the love that it brings. Just identify yourselves. And if people don't like it, tough. Big love to all of you. I'll speak to you again very soon.